let's take a look at ChannelChimp's preferences. So with ChannelChimp running, we'll go to File, Preferences. And the first tab is General. Now at the top we see Web Browser, and it shows us an address. And this is what you'd have to enter into your web browser on your tablet or smartphone or even your desktop system to be able to access the web projects that are new in ChannelChimp 2. So your device will have to be on the same network. So for example, on the same Wi-Fi network. And if we're running locally, I can just pop it into my browser. And then there you can see all of the different web projects. For example, I can go to the face rig, and now we have all of our face rig controls. Now, obviously, this is especially useful on an external device. Below that, we have our Osc settings, just to remind us, again, with our host IP address. That's the computer that we're currently running ChannelChimp on the local network. It's got a listening port and a sending port, which you can change depending on what OSC application you're using. And finally, another reminder of your IP address. The next tab is Gamepads, and because I have a Sony PS4 DualShock gamepad currently connected, that's why it's showing up here in the sidebar. And then beside it, we have all of our mapping. So these are the names that have been provided. Now, ChannelChimp comes with a series of mappings, but they may or may not show up depending on the particular device that you have. We don't have every possible device. And frankly, even some different variants of things like the PS4 DualShock have different codes that we may not recognize. So if that was the case, what you would have in here is a bunch of default names. It would just say button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4, and you could go in and type whatever you want in here to assign that name, something that's just a little more recognizable. And also, if you're using some unknown third-party joystick, you can also map it however you wish. Next, we have the MIDI tab, and it shows all the MIDI devices that are currently connected. If you connect a MIDI device while ChannelChimp's already up and running, you can just say refresh to cause the list to be updated and get that device connected. Next, we have the Open Sound Control, or OSC tab, and this just allows you to change the listening port or sending port to whatever you prefer in case you have a conflict on your network with using the default of 11,000 and 9,000. And last, we have the Web Browser tab, and this lists all of the projects that ChannelChimp 2 currently has installed. So for example, whenever you download one of the set of files that comes with one of the tutorials, you'll get something like this. So this is the actual face tutorials files. You'll get something like this file that says facerig.ccp on the end. That's ChannelChimp project. And the last set of numbers is the version number. So if I look here, it's 1.0.6. And if I look over here in the preferences, I can see that the face rig is also on 1.0.6. So it's usually a good idea to just check and make sure that you've got the latest version whenever you're doing a tutorial or if you get an update for those files. Now, if it's not installed, or if this version's more recent, you can just select Add Projects and then select this CCP file to add it into the projects list. You can also select an existing project and hit Delete if you don't want it anymore. And finally, there's the HTTP port up here. And currently it's set by default to 9080, but if that's a port you're already using on your network, you can of course set this to some other value that you prefer. I just want to note that there's actually an even easier way to install project files. So you can just take a project file like this face rig CCP, just drag it and drop it onto ChannelChimp's main window, and it'll automatically install it. Now in this case, it's telling us the version we already have is current, so we're good to go.